Now from the Columbia Basin, your local news source, this is iFIBER 1 News, presented in high definition. The #1 source for real-time local news, local sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. With your iFIBER 1 News team, reporting news in real time as it's happening. From the iFIBER Communications HD broadcast studio in Ephrata, Washington, this is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Welcome to iFIBER 1 News. I'm Cody Johnson with your news from around the Columbia Basin for Wednesday, November 21st. Tonight we're taking a break from our usual news broadcast format to bring you a special Thanksgiving week edition. We report on some holiday-related news and activities coming up over the next few days, including several free Thanksgiving meals offered through the county. We'll take a look at turkeys for eating and turkeys kept as pets, and celebrate the spirit of Thanksgiving with a glance back at some of the exceptional people we've seen over the past few months that make the Columbia Basin such a great place to live. In sports, we'll run down the games over the long holiday weekend and take a look at two players that made national headlines. Our spotlight story tonight highlights a day between Black Friday and Cyber Monday that's geared towards supporting small businesses. And we have the latest weather forecast for the Columbia Basin from the iFIBER 1 Weather Center. Our first story tonight, hungry people don't have to travel far for a free home-cooked meal this Thanksgiving. There's several dinners offered around Grant County for people who don't want to cook their own or would like to socialize this Thursday. In Moses Lake, the Elks is hosting a community Thanksgiving dinner from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 814 North Stratford Road. Organizers say last year about 60 volunteers served 560 meals. The Ephrata Foursquare Church is serving a dinner for community members at 716 Basin Street Northeast from 2 to 5 p.m. Donations of winter clothing, blankets, and hygiene items are also being accepted at the church. The items will be distributed to people in need this holiday season. In Quincy, Aikens Harvest Foods is hosting their annual dinner from noon to 3 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day at the Senior Center located at 522 F Street Southeast. Volunteers are still needed there. If you can lend a hand, please call 509-787-4421. Finally, in Soap Lake, the Sundial Bistro restaurant is planning Thanksgiving dinner for any Soap Lake resident in need from 10 a.m. to noon. The restaurant is taking donations and would appreciate volunteers to help serve and clean up. The dinner is being sponsored by several local people and the restaurant, which is located at 332 East Main Avenue. You can call 509-246-1400 for more information. If you didn't have a chance to jot down the addresses, times, or contact numbers of the dinners we just talked about, you can view this story again online at iFIBER1.com. For anyone who plans on cooking their own Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow, there's one name you might want to have in your speed dial just in case anything goes wrong: Butterball.
Butterball Turkey Talkline, how can I help you?
For 32 years, the experts who staff the Butterball Turkey Talkline have been there for holiday cooks who have questions on how to prepare and cook their turkeys. No question is too tough for these turkey talkers who are professionally trained, college-educated home economists.
And when that phone rings and we say, "Good morning, Butterball Turkey Talkline, how can I help you?" We don't know what we're going to get, but it's always a joy to answer those questions.
Mary Klingman, Butterball Turkey Talkline director, said many people are prepared for the holiday. But when something happens unexpectedly, like the stove stops working, they turn to the Butterball Talkline.
Many people really feel like they've planned well and they've got everything down, and all of a sudden their stove breaks. You know, all kinds of things can happen. You know, you just name it. We could not have a list of every call that we get because it's just such a wide variety, which makes it fun for us too.
A rack, if you don't, it's no big deal. You can make one.
You know, after
Just
that.
pull a sheet of aluminum foil about like 18 inches long.
Turkeys out there now, the fresh ones, are designed for Thanksgiving Day.
Funny call, probably The gentleman wanted to thaw a turkey, and he wasn't sure exactly where to set the dial for thawing the turkey. And I said, the dial on what? I thought maybe he was going to try it in the oven. He had it wrapped around. He had wrapped around the turkey an electric blanket, and he wanted to know where to set the dial. I said, "Oh my goodness, have you turned it on yet?" No, he said he hasn't. So I said, "Take it out of the blanket, put it in a large sink or tub of cold water, and that 12-pound turkey will thaw in cold water in 6 hours." So we saved the day. He can cook the turkey, but he was in a hurry.
Butterball experts also share advice online.
And now today we have Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest, and then you can go live chat through the butterball.com. Even this year we have a Butterball app, so we are so contemporary.
Thanksgiving yet, and Thanksgiving should get more of our focus, I think, before we move on to Christmas.
We're largely hand holders for people who are maybe cooking their first turkey, and that could be at age 19 and they're away at college with friends who aren't going home for the holiday. Or it could be somebody 79 years old who's cooking their first turkey because she's always had her mother do it, then she always had her sister do it.
More than 1 million cooks are expected to consult Talkline experts this holiday season.
The Butterball phone app. Don't look surprised. You knew it was coming. Another heads up for holiday cooks. State Fire Marshal Chuck Duffy recommends you avoid the turkey fryer this Thursday. Duffy points to research done on turkey fryers by Underwriters Laboratory, a safety consulting and certification firm that considers the devices dangerous, and says they present numerous safety hazards to consumers. The firm has not certified any brands of turkey fryers out of concern they pose a fire risk. Among the hazards, the units reportedly have a penchant for tipping over, spilling hot oil from the cooking pot that can hit the burner or flames, causing a fire to engulf the entire unit. A spillover effect can also take place if the turkey is partially frozen when placed into the cooking pot, or if the pot is overfilled with oil. Also, Duffy says most units don't have thermostat controls and have the potential to overheat oil to the point of combustion. For anyone who does use a turkey fryer, Duffy recommends using them outdoors at a safe distance from your house and any other flammable materials, making sure they're on a flat surface and never leaving the fryer unattended. For more information, you can visit ul.com. We thought we'd use the Thanksgiving holiday as a chance to highlight something we're thankful for here at iFIBER 1 News, namely you, the people who put on the events and do the things that make this such a unique place to call home. Without you, we'd have very little to report on, but we'd also be missing the color and the life that you bring to the Columbia Basin. Here with the first of several retrospective reports on the people we've enjoyed getting to know over the past few months is Ryan Lancaster.
Oh, here we go. Thank you. Bon voyage.
The Quincy Balloon Festival lifts off tomorrow to coincide with Quincy's Farmer Consumer Awareness Days. Organizer Kent Bacon said he and his wife started the festival 5 years back as a way to help promote tourism in the Quincy Valley.
And the biggest event in Quincy is always the second Saturday in September is Farmer Consumer Awareness Day, where there's 4,000 to 6,000 people in Quincy for that. And so we decided, since there's a group of people here already, we'll add the Balloon Festival to that.
Bacon also knows the importance of agriculture to the area. Parties on the Green, the festival venue, has been in his family for nearly 40 years. Bacon said the land was once an alfalfa farm and now grows turf. 6 years ago, he and his wife Kim opened up the property to events. Spectators are welcome to come out and snap pictures of sunrise balloon launches taking place Saturday and Sunday. Among the dozen or so balloon pilots visiting Quincy from across Washington, Idaho, and Oregon is Stephanie Hughes. Hughes grew up in Moses Lake and now lives in Spokane. She flies Spuds, a balloon passed down from her mother, who had it fashioned to showcase Grant County's premier crop.
My mom, who started flying hot air balloons in the 70s, wanted to have a new balloon, and she came up with the idea of Grant County is known, or Grant County is the largest producer of potatoes, largest county that produces potatoes, and so she thought it would be a great idea to have a balloon with a potato plant on it.
And the festival is about more than balloons. The venue opens at 4:30 p.m. Saturday with 4 food vendors and a beer and wine garden before Steve Elvis Segura takes the stage. At dusk, the tethered balloons will illuminate the nighttime sky prior to a fireworks display put on by the Northwest Pyrotechnics Association. Bacon, who's a member of the club, says the display is not to be missed.
We're going to have thousands of shells, up everything from the small little consumer ones up to 16 inches in diameter. And to put that into perspective, 16 inches in diameter, that's bigger than Seattle or San Diego or LA on the 4th of July.
Saturday night's event costs $20 a carload for up to 6 people. Bacon said last year the festival drew about 2,400 people. For a complete schedule of events and directions, visit partiesonthegreen.com or call 509-787-3795. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Ryan Lancaster reporting.
During Quincy's Farmer Consumer Awareness Days parade in September, we met up with 2 Belgian brothers traveling across country by Segway.
Among the thousands of people attending Quincy's Farmer Consumer Awareness Days over the weekend were 2 Belgian brothers who stopped over on a coast-to-coast journey by Segway. Remy and Pierre-Jean Destaques started the second leg of their trip west across the continent from Omaha, Nebraska in July.
We're students, we're on summer vacation and we're traveling the US from coast to coast. So we spend the night in here and we're about to leave, continue hitting the road.
The 2-wheeled contraptions can reach speeds of 12 miles per hour and get about 15 miles per battery charge. Pierre-Jean says they've been averaging between 40 and 50 miles a day.
I mean, we're adventurous and we've done a lot of such things. But then 6 years ago I had a skiing accident and I got disabled. And I used the Segway in Belgium, where I come from, as a wheelchair actually. And so I couldn't ride my bicycle in the States, but I can ride my Segway. So I tried to travel that way and it worked. So it is now my 4th trip on the Segway.
The travelers sleep in tents, barns, fellowship halls, and more often than not, says Pierre-Jean, the homes of welcoming strangers.
We've been staying with a lot of families and that's just awesome when you're not afraid to meet people. When you trust people, people are very great and we've never had any issues in here.
The brothers plan to visit Kashmir next on their way to Seattle before heading back to college. They both say they've met an incredible mix of people on their journey.
Some days ago we were with Mennonites, or we were with, I don't know, it's cowboys, Native Americans, priests, bartenders, bikers. We met lots of awesome people.
More information about their trip is available at segwaytravelers.com.
There's more to come in the second half of our broadcast. We'll be right back after these messages with the latest from the iFIBER 1 Weather Center.